Hi, and welcome to What Makes Men Tick. So, in this session, I want to talk about the 5 dilemmas that men face as they're trying to be the man they want to be the man that woman wants them to be the man God wants them to be, society wants them to be. As they're trying to be that kind of man, they face some dilemmas. These are dilemmas, 5 of them, that men face all around the world, I believe. Now, societies are different. Some societies are much clearer and unified about what a man should be, but especially in Western societies like America, there are some real dilemmas that men face in terms of what kind of man to be and how to be the kind of man that they've decided they need to be, if they've decided what kind of man they want to be.
I just go with the flow. You know, whatever makes her happy, as long as she's happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, and it took me a long time to learn that, because all these years I could have just been doing whatever I wanted to do. Not in a bad way, but you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I involve him when it's no need. If I take it upon myself, you know, it just, things will be good, because he doesn't mind one way or the other. So I just go ahead and involve him anyway and get him all worked up. And I'm like, I should have just been quiet and just, you know, just let things go the way they should have went, you know.
Man, so. I always got her back, always. No matter if it's wrong or right, I always have her back.
So, 5 dilemmas that men face. It's important to understand this, because if you're a woman, you need to understand the struggles that your man has inside of him. He may not even realize it, but he's got some struggles, some conflicts going on inside of him. And if you don't understand that, then you're going to be wanting this, and he's not sure about that. Or, as you'll see, sometimes women actually have conflicts of their own about what kind of man they're looking for. And so you'll be confused, and he'll be confused, and he won't be quite sure what kind of man he wants to be, and whether he's being that kind of man, whether he's being successful at being a man.
He's always complaining I'm not doing enough work.
Okay.
You're not listening to me, Theo.
I am listening to you. I'm right here.
You never give me your full attention. You're always doing something else. I'm having a problem at work here. Don't you care?
You're in trouble at work. Again? You're not going to blow this job like you did the last one, are you?
Why can't you be a decent husband and support me sometimes?
I am being supportive. I'm just trying to let you understand that your boss is not a dummy. He's not evil. He's just trying to supervise you. There's a difference, you know.
Supervise? What do you know about supervision? With that little cush job you have where you do nothing all day long.
So 5 dilemmas. There are more, but these are 5 I encounter all the time when I'm working with men, and they're certainly in the research as well. And the first one we might call the what is a man dilemma. In other words, what is a man? What is a real man? What makes for a real man? How does a man know when he's a real man? And how does a woman know that she's got a real man? That's a dilemma for men, and here's why. There's several reasons. And it has to do in part with the fact that society gives mixed messages to men about what a man really is. And when I say society, I'm just going to focus on American society, because that's what I know best. American society does not make it very clear what is a real man. There are lots of conflicting messages out there. Let me just highlight a couple of them. So one message that society gets, especially from other men, is that men need to be strong and independent. But women say this as well. Think about this now, ladies. Do you want a weak man? Do you want a man who gets depressed and stays depressed? If a man loses his job and goes into a spiral of depression, and it's hard for him to get out of bed, you know, to get going, to keep looking for work, that's going on, of course, all over the country right now. That becomes a real problem to the woman. I've asked this question when I've done live seminars to women. If your man lost his job and he got down, he got depressed, how long could he stay down? And over again, women from various walks of life, various income levels, they give the man just a short amount of time. He can be depressed over losing his job for a few days, but he better start getting it together pretty soon and getting out there and looking for a job, building a business, whatever it is that he's gonna do to bring some money in the door. Now, that becomes a dilemma because at the same time, women want a sensitive man. A man who's in touch with his feelings. A man who can share his feelings. A man who knows what he's feeling and knows what she's feeling and allows her to express her feelings maybe for quite some time. You know, long conversations where she's venting, where she's emoting, where she's crying, etc. You want a man, ladies, who can be that sensitive to your feelings and his feelings and is good at expressing those feelings. Now, that's a dilemma for a man because think of how boys are raised all over the globe, all over the globe. This has been studied all over the planet. Boys are raised to push down emotions. Think about it. When you look at boys playing games, imagine out on the basketball court, some boy elbows another boy and hurts him. Now, have you ever seen a situation where the boys start saying to each other, maybe the one that was elbowed says to the other one, "You hurt me, you're not playing fair, that wasn't nice"? I've never seen it. And when I've asked guys, have you ever been on a court, on the field, and somebody does something that isn't nice, that wasn't fair, breaks the rules, etc., do you see any conversation going on about that? You know, where the boys are expressing their feelings. I haven't seen it. Probably you haven't seen it. I don't think it happens that much. Maybe occasionally it does. They might go home and cry to their mother, you know, if they're young boys, but there comes a time when they're going to stop doing even that. Why? Because the message to the boys is man up. You know, you just gotta take it. You just gotta deal with it. You know, go back at them harder, you know, and don't let them get away with what they try to do. It's about beating them. It's about winning. It's not about sharing your feelings, expressing your feelings, allowing your hurt, your disappointment, your upset to show through. If anything, you're gonna put on your game face and, you know, act as if that didn't even hurt physically. So maybe they'll show anger, but they won't even start talking about their anger. They're gonna, in fact, use their anger to try to go harder to win the game. So that's what we expect of boys growing up. We want them, we expect them to just kind of man up and get the job done. So if you grow up doing that over and over again, that's the expectation, then how is it that you can get to manhood and now all of a sudden, not only do you have to have that strong side of you, but you also have to be able to be sensitive and to start sharing those feelings of upset. You know, when the boss said that to you, I can, you know, hear a wife saying, you know, he is being unfair to you, he criticized you in public, etc. Well, how did you feel? And he may say to his wife, well, you know, nothing. That's what I got to deal with. You know, that's him. You know, that's her. Whatever the boss was, and he's not going to start necessarily saying to his wife with tears, you know, well, I felt humiliated. He may feel humiliated. He may have felt that was a humiliating situation, but he ain't admitting it. Certainly not to the other people in the room, probably not to his boss either, and he may not admit it even to you or to himself.